Parenting a neurodiverse, otherwise known as gifted child, is very much like riding a roller coaster. So I want to give you just one example of what it's like in my life. Strap in. In October of 2002, I took Janen to a baby shower for two sisters. She was just 2.5 years old. Now this is the part of the roller coaster where you're just getting started. The breeze is blowing through your hair and you're thinking, this is gonna be so much fun. And we did, we had a great time. But when we left, I should have started to get that feeling in my stomach. You know the one you get when you start approaching the first hill and you hear that click, click, click? Because my always talking 2.5-year-old was completely silent for over 5 minutes. Click, click, click. Then from the seat behind me I hear, Mama, when was I in your belly? And how did I get there? We're taking that first hill. Stomach is in your throat and your brain is screaming, why did you get on this thing? But actually that first hill wasn't so bad. I adopted my daughter and she has known her story from day one. So I was able to have a quick response and I said, well, actually, you weren't in Mama's belly. You were in Mama Santos's belly. Remember, that's what adoption means. And to get her away from the how question, I just threw in a quick scientific fact, something she has always loved. And I said, and actually, babies aren't in their mama's bellies. They're in a special place called the womb. Silence. Click, click, click. Fine. How did I get into Mama Santos's womb? And whoosh! This isn't a hill. It's one of those loop-to-loops where you know you are about to plummet to your death. I can't fall back on when a man and woman fall in love and get married. Her birth parents weren't married, and I have no clue if they loved each other. So I took a really deep breath to kind of slow my heart, and I said, well, a man plants a special seed inside the woman's womb, and it grows, kind of like a garden. And she didn't even skip a beat. We're taking like one of those hairpin curves. Because what she said next is, that makes absolutely no sense, because if he used a shovel, that would kill her. Now I'm leaning over the side. I am vomiting out the side of this ride. And my brain is screaming. I am not supposed to have this conversation with my 2.5-year-old. I'm not ready. Please let me off. But I held back my tears and my vomit. And I said, you're right, but it's kind of complicated. And you really need to be older. And she said, okay, how much older? Now I wanted to say 35, but for some reason my brain went 5 or 6. But I didn't get that long. Just a year later, now she's almost 4.5. And her latest obsession, which at the time was condensation, took us to the library for some books. Now, Janen and the librarian were best friends. So when I mentioned that I wanted to get a book for myself, the librarian said, go ahead. I'll help Janen find her books, and she'll be here when you get back. Now, parents, if you've had toddlers, you know, 5 minutes without them is like 5 days in the Bahamas, right? So I was off for a mama mini vacation in the adult book section. But when I returned, I found the librarian with a look on her face. You know the ones the stupid amusement parks take just as people come down the worst hill? And she says to me, I don't know if you want her to have that book. Turns out, condensation and conception are right next to each other on the bookshelf. Click, click, click. I saw the next hill coming. So I sat down next to her and I strapped in and I said, wow, babe, what did you find? And she said, Mama, these are babies inside the mama's womb. And now I'm going to know how they got there. Having to explain conception to a 2.5-year-old, and when you don't, having them find the information for themselves in the library is what it means to parent a neurodivergent child. So now, every time I see a new parent about to board this ride, I say to them, sit down, strap in, keep your arms, hands, legs inside the ride, because this is the most vomit-inducing fun you are ever gonna have.